How can you use AI to write a blog post from start to finish? Can you? Is it possible to generate a good 2,500 word blog with an AI writer at all? Let's talk about it in this video. In the last decade, I've probably written a little over 1,500 blog posts. Long-form blogs are my jam. It's how we're building our own income stream in every single business I've grown, including the one I'm now the VP of Marketing in, Content at Scale. Long-form blogging is the name of the marketing game. It's how I've built trust, brought in consistent leads and subscribers, grown the website, and created an owned media platform, which is really important, where you get to own the traffic as it snowballs over time. There's no better tool than the classic long-form blog to achieve that outcome. But can you actually use AI to write a great blog from start to finish? In this video, I'm putting pedal to the metal, and we're going to see if ChatGPT can write a blog post, we're going to see if Jasper can write a blog post, and finally, we're going to see what Content at Scale can do. We're going to use the same exact topic across these 3 different tools. It's not going to be an easy topic. It's going to require at least 2,500 words to rank in the top of Google for this topic. And the long-form content is going to have to be good. It's also going to have to be undetectable by an AI content detector. And if you have no idea what it means to create undetectable content, be sure to watch our video, What is an AI content detector? And why you should start using it in your process as a marketer, team, or agency. Okay, so for this video, you're at my desk, so let's get into it. Okay, so you're here with me at my desk, and we're going to go through step-by-step how to write a blog post, and we're going to do this with 3 tools. We're going to use ChatGPT to see if we can write a long-form blog post. We're going to use Jasper, and we're going to use Content at Scale. So that you can know this is completely unbiased, right? And you can actually see how these tools stack up. So the first thing you need is a keyword, and this specific tool is called Keyword Finder by Mangles. You can also use SEMrush and Ahrefs. Those are excellent tools for keyword discovery. So I'm using Keyword Finder by Mangles. So I found a keyword that I like. It is low on the difficulty score. Anything below 40 is really low. It's a long tail keyword, how to build a WordPress website from scratch. If I was writing content for, say, contenthacker.com, then I want to create long-form guides that help people do things that build sustainable businesses, right? So this is mapped directly to something my customer would want. And then I can, of course, sell them things once they opt into my email list, right? We can upsell. So this is directly mapped to my customer, and it's a keyword that rates possible on the difficulty score. I also like the 400 search volume. So the first thing I would do before I go use these tools like Jasper and ChatGPT and Content at Scale, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the top piece of Google, kind of look and see what it looks like, because I want to know what content should look like if I'm going to compete with this piece, right? Because I have to compete with it. I have to write something technically better than this piece to rank in the top of Google. So this is an ultimate guide, first of all. Like, that really strikes me, right? How to use WordPress, an ultimate guide. And then we have a summary here, learn how to build your website on WordPress. So if I use a word counter, I have the Chrome extension Word Counter Plus. I can see that this is a 4,000 word guide. So I'm going to need to write something that is tremendous. A 100 word guide is just not going to cut it. Neither is a 500 word guide. We're going to have to rival 4,500 words for this to rank in the top of Google. So I'm going to take this keyword and I'm going to see what these tools can do. So let's start with ChatGPT. Let's go ahead and ask it to write a 4,500 word blog on the keyword, how to build a WordPress website from scratch. Let me correct the spelling of WordPress, or the title case, I should say. So entrepreneurs know every step involved in creating a strong. And I'm going to look at the summary of this piece again. Learn how to build your website on WordPress and discover tips and tricks to enhance user. I like those terms, so I'm going to use that and rewrite it a little bit. So write a 4,500 word blog on the keyword, how to build a WordPress website from scratch. Teach entrepreneurs every step involved in creating a strong user experience and increasing conversions from their WordPress website. Okay, I like my prompt. It's thorough enough, but not too heavy, so let's start with it. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. And this may take a while. Whenever you have a prompt that is not... Oh, okay. So right away we're told 4,000 characters is the limit. And I believe 4,000 characters is... okay, 500 to 1,000 words. So right away we know that ChatGPT is limited to under 1,000 words, and I'm going to bet you that this will be 500 words or less. And as it writes the content, I'm looking at it. Building a WordPress website from scratch can seem overwhelming, but with a bit of patience, anyone can create a professional-looking website. First step is choosing a domain name and hosting provider. Then you got to install WordPress, choose a theme. So these are very, very basic tips, right? Like, this isn't that exciting to me, because if our audience are entrepreneurs, they likely might know a little bit, and you got to speak to them at a deeper level. Anyone can create a professional looking and functional website. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. I think that you need to hire a WordPress website designer. You can do it yourself, sure, and that's what we're going to teach them, right? Because the keyword is how to build a WordPress website from scratch. But I would also want to see some tips that don't necessarily pin the whole piece on, hey, you can create this, anyone can do it. So that's very ambiguous wording that kind of concerns me. I would not put that in a blog. So, okay, good start. But remember, we have to pass AI detection, right? We have tools like originality.ai. We have our own free tool at Content at Scale. Let's go use our free tool at Content at Scale and actually see what happens when we put this through the AI detector. So the AI detector, what is this? This tells us if our content rates human on the human content score, or if it rates as written by a robot. So let's see how much work we have to do. Does this content generated by ChatGPT, does it read like a robot wrote it? Or does it have maybe some human? Okay, so it's only 20% human. We're gonna have to do a lot of work to rewrite that, because it is seen as 80% fake. And remember, we have watermarking coming on the scene by OpenAI. So ChatGPT is gonna carry a watermark, and the copyright doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the creator of the AI tool. So these are waters you wanna be really careful about if you're gonna publish this content. So as it stands, this content needs a lot of work, it's ambiguous, and we don't love it. Now let's move on to the next tool, Jasper. So I've got Jasper open, I've signed up, I'm gonna click generate your first blog post, and I'm gonna give it the same prompt that I asked ChatGPT when we first started all of this. And I'm gonna pick tone of voice, we're gonna say professional, warm, and our intended audience is entrepreneurs and new website owners. Okay, and then we're going to just review it. Teach entrepreneurs every step involved. Okay, so we're going to click generate, see what happens with the one-shot blog post template. And it looks like, we can write quite a bit for this prompt here. So we can actually kind of lengthen this prompt and give it more detail. So this is kind of taking a while. We're going to have to maybe come back to it. Okay, there we go. This was about 3 minutes or so. So blog title, how to build a WordPress website from scratch, a step-by-step guide for entrepreneurs. Okay, not bad for the title. Blog introduction, building a website from scratch can seem intimidating, but anyone can create. Oh my goodness. Hold up. What? What? Are you reading this, guys? Are you serious? This is word for word from ChatGPT. Word for word. Oh my gosh. Why would I pay for this tool when I can just use ChatGPT? Can you believe this? Okay, well, there's Jasper for you. So let's run it through the detector, because it is structured a little differently, right? And I see a little bit, I see some tool mentions and some additional content that wasn't there. So this rates 100% human. That's interesting. which is funny because this first sentence came straight from ChatGPT. So that's quite interesting. And then if we look at the words, this is a 600-word blog, but we're still so far behind, right? Because we need 2,500 words. We need depth. We need detail. Look at the depth of detail on this HubSpot blog, right? So it's cool that it rates as human, but we do not have publish-ready content. Like, this is still going to take a ton of work. However, a little bit better than ChatGPT, but not by much. By 100 words, that's the difference. 100 words of better content. Okay, so now let's use content at scale, and we're going to generate content using the content at scale interface. So I'm going to log in. If you don't have a project set up, you will need to do that. So I have a project set up for this particular group of posts. We are building websites at Content Hacker, and we want to help people learn about best practices. So I'm going to click Add Content. I'm going to put the keyword right there, how to build a WordPress website from scratch. I'm going to click 3,000 plus words. And it's really cool that I have that option, right? We didn't have that with ChatGPT or Jasper. Jasper is just the one-shot blog post. Going back to content at scale, we can go a little bit more. We can go a little bit further already. Okay, so write a long form, write a comprehensive. Let's tell the tool comprehensive blog post. And the reason I'm not saying 4,500 words is because we can pick it from here, right? I couldn't do that with Jasper. No, I couldn't do that with ChatGPT and Jasper. So I kind of had to tell it, hey, let's try to shoot for 4,500 words. But here we can actually go to the drop down and pick the word count. Okay, so write a comprehensive blog post on the keyword, how to build a WordPress website from scratch. Give entrepreneurs every step involved in creating a strong. We just always want that prompt to be as good as it can be, right? Okay, so I'm going to click Create Content Now, and then come back. This process usually takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So what I really like about Content at Scale is it gives me a status bar, and if I hover, I can actually see the percentage of completion, and I can see the status. So it's writing the post, it fetched the SERPs. And one thing this tool does that not any other tool I have found does, and if they do it, I don't think they do it as well as Content at Scale. It crawls the SERPs then and there. What does that mean? It's looking at the top of Google on the spot, something that I typically would have to pay a writer to do, right? Or do myself. Look at the top of Google, compare it to what I'm going to write, and write content to compete with those pieces. So it's telling me the statuses. It's surfed and fetched. It fetched 14 out of 14 in the SERPs. It wrote the FAQs, and it's waiting on a couple last things. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this screen again. And it looks like it's done. It's ready for optimization. So that took a little less than 10 minutes, actually, more like 5 or 6, which is crazy because this is supposed to be long form content. So let's go ahead and click that little blue pencil and edit the post. So right away, this dashboard is amazing, right? We don't have this with Jasper and ChatGPT and so many other tools. We have a word count that we're looking at. We have paragraph count. We have headings count. We have something that encourages us to add media, right? Which is a part of the framework, the AIO Writers Framework. When I talk about making content better, you want to add media. And then over here on the right, we have optimization guide, which is amazing. It tells us what keywords to use and which ones to work into this piece. So I'm reading through this because I want to see, if the wording is ambiguous, right? We kind of ran into that with ChatGPT. Building a WordPress website from scratch can be overwhelming. So right away, I don't see like the copy and paste ChatGPT happening. I see more language generation, which is true to what Content at Scale claims to do. It claims to have 3 different language generation tools stacked on top with proprietary software that generates better content. I can see that sitting right in front of me. As a business owner or entrepreneur, you want to make sure your website is built correctly and looks great. That is something I would have to train a writer how to write. That's good content that reads well. Building a WordPress website from scratch can be daunting if you're not familiar with the process, but it doesn't have to be. This is very similar, right, to the first line of ChatGPT, but it's not a straight copy and paste like we saw with Jasper. And it's also not saying anyone can build a website, which I like. It's not saying that at all. This is far more human in the content writing that's sitting right in front of me. With this comprehensive guide on how to build a WordPress website from scratch, we'll walk you through every step involved in creating an effective user experience and increasing conversions for your brand destination online. We'll cover choosing a domain name, and then it goes on. And then we have our table of contents. Look at this. How amazing is that? I noticed right away that this one's numbered 7 and these aren't. So that would be something to fix. And over here on the right, I can actually edit the brief and I could rerun the post if I didn't like it. And that clicking that rerun post does not cost me a credit. So that's pretty handy. So this is long form, which is crazy. I mean, we got to do some cleanup, right? We have to add links. We have to follow that 5-step framework, which definitely watch my video on that. We have another video just on how to make your content better, the AIO way. So what is AIO? It is optimizing AI content following a 5-step framework that I am talking about till the end of time, because you got to make this content better, right? But this content's good. Like, the structure is here. We just need to make it better. So first of all, what am I going to do? I'm going to actually check it in the AI detector. Let's go test this. Let's put pedal to the metal here and see what happens. So I'm going to refresh, clear that screen. I'm going to paste the whole blog in, click check for AI content. This is the moment of truth. Will it read as AI written, or will it read as humanly written? Oh my gosh. And it reads 100% human content. So that's pretty crazy. So right now that takes the worry off of me, knowing that I don't have to tinker with this. I don't have to worry about word syntax, word flow. And that's the whole thing, right? About AI detection. It looks at word strings that the robots tend to write, that ChatGPT tends to write. But here, the word strings are so much more natural. We can already tell, right? There's less ambiguous statements. So this is an incredible writing tool alone in and of itself before we even look at the optimization part and the SEO. We do have to do some work. We do have to make this better. I would go through, I would add screenshots like you can see here in the HubSpot piece, right? We got visuals going on. We have links to the top 7 or 8 plugins. We have screenshots of them. We have examples of great WordPress websites. So this is a piece where you might be spending 2 hours over on the editing zone because you need to make this better. You need to make it strong. But the meat of it is done. And this alone, right? Generating 2,600 words that are structured correctly with good H2s, good H3s. Imagine how long that would take a writer if they were working on this from scratch. And then when I'm done, I can actually choose the status pending editing. And if I have downloaded the WordPress plugin on my WordPress site and activated with the access key found in the projects, then I can hit update and this status will shoot my blog over into the WordPress site that I have without me lifting a finger. And then I can literally just hit publish if the piece is ready to go. So by far, for blogging, this tool absolutely makes the most sense. As a long-form SEO writer by trade, honestly, that's what I've been for 10 years. This is the tool I would use. I wouldn't use any of the others. And this tutorial says 1,000 words, right? This is living proof of the value of content at scale, especially if you're blogging. It's pretty crazy to me that ChatGPT and Jasper really do not live up to the hype when it comes to long-form content. And long-form content is arguably one of the hardest to write. I think it's easy to generate a good sentence. It is not easy to generate 2,500 words, 5,000 words, 10,000 words of good, high-quality content on an in-depth topic. The reason I'm here at Content at Scale and leading the marketing is because I believe in the product. What you just saw wasn't fabricated. It was a real test of using these tools to see which one could actually generate good blog content. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about trying content at scale, I can't encourage you enough to start using it now. It will save you incredible amounts of time and money. It's truly worth every penny. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel to learn more about how to wield the AI writing sword instead of just the human pen. Keep watching our videos and tutorials that show you how to use AI and get the best possible output so that you continue to publish content full of heart, soul, and value, even though you're using a robot to form the base of that content. I'll see you in the next video.